We are at Ryan Global School, Mumbai for a very special reason. We Ryanites will be interacting with one of Mumbai's favorite local heroes. We are talking about a multifaceted personality, a renowned wildlife photographer, a naturalist and also a famous writer, Mr. Sunjoy Monga. His books and articles cover topics from wildlife to conservation. Here are some glimpses of the interaction.
You are so lucky because at this time, in this generation, you all have got access to so many options, right from media to social media to the internet to the great God called Google, which answers all your questions. A lot of exposure on television to programs on wildlife. Some of you all watch programs on nature. You all watch programs on nature, right? There's a lot of channels now which have regularly programs on nature. And more than that, schools today encourage so many activities. The Ryan Group has been encouraging so many activities on nature and environment. I'm sure some of you have been on field visits also. So it's wonderful to make the beginning with your school. And I'm honored that, I could be here today.
The interaction was also attended by students of Ryan International School, Malad, ICSE and CBSE.
What should be the kind of shrubs, saplings that we should be planting? If we could have your guidance on that.
You have to introduce the correct kind of a plant, which attracts butterflies, which attracts insects, and then attracts birds, and also at the same time adds to the value of the landscape. I mean, if I gave you a sapling, what would you do to it?
Keeping it in the sunlight to grow.
What inspired you to get into wildlife conservation and photography?
Well, it's the opportunity I got when the family moved in the 1960s to Kandivali in northwest Mumbai. So the very verdant surrounds there with so many creatures around. I just got fascinated, and one thing led to another, and met a lot of like-minded people in those days also. Thanks to my dad, who got me some basic gear like binoculars and a very rudimentary camera, a box camera. And I started looking at nature from a different perspective, a very joyous perspective, a perspective of a lot of learning and a lot of, you can call it entertainment of sorts at a time when no other entertainment was there. So nature was the ultimate step that a window that opened to me at a time when I'm very grateful I got the opportunity. And then to work after that with a lot of the stalwarts of Indian natural history led to my passion becoming a profession.
Can you please tell us about the Young Ranger initiative?
Young Rangers was a program we started sometime in the early 2000s with support from HSBC, and it became a very successful program that we ran in about 100 odd schools across Mumbai for several years. Had a lot of school activities as well as outdoor activities also. And the logistics were the only limit in terms of continuing further, because of travels around Mumbai became a bit of a bother after that. So we I think terminated that program sometime in 2011 or 12, yeah. But it was a hugely successful program which just aimed to bring out that every child is special, that everyone can do something, their little bit for the environment in so many ways, just where they are.
What is one message you would like to share with us students?
Well, I'd just like to tell all kids that they have today so many opportunities. They have a lot of media support and a lot of social media platforms on which, rather than wasting a lot of time every day, they can, convert part of that time into something fruitful for themselves in terms of learning, as also spreading the good word about environment, and in believing that each one of you is special. Each one of you can take just that little step, towards helping the environment and the natural world. Don't just think that it's a problem for the others to resolve or for the governments to solve all the time. Every one of us is responsible, and every one of us is a cause of the problem, and every one of us can be together the solution for the problem. So have faith in yourself. As children, you are extremely fortunate and extremely powerful. And to get the support of your schools in this is so much more a positive sort of indicator of something good that can come out of it.
He also told us about the activity of bird watching, as Mumbai has a stable population of crows, pigeons, mynas, and sparrows. What do you do as an environmentalist?
I believe we should all reduce, reuse, and recycle. Whenever I get the opportunity, I plant a sapling and take care of it.
I avoid the use of plastic bags and disposable plastic containers.
I try not to waste water and electricity during the day.
I don't litter in public places and throw garbage only in dustbins.
I walk or use public modes of transportation.
I only use cloth and paper bags, and I don't use plastic bags.
Mr. Sunjoy Monga spoke about the importance of planting trees, survival of the fittest in nature, and protecting our environment.
Whether you do that in a pot like this, obviously here the demo is on a pot. When you do in a soil, you have to dig a pit which is usually between 6 inches to about 15 inches deep, depending on the size of the sapling. For the herbs and the shrub, about 6 inches, 6 to 7 inches is perfect for the little herbs and shrubs. But when it is tree saplings, when you know it's a tree, then it has to be a little deeper, depending also on the size of the sapling. Sometimes you get saplings which are only so much, so if you put that, you're completely killing it. You don't. So accordingly, you do that.
We Ryanites follow our Chairman Sir's vision of each one plant one, which helps in making our environment clean and green for the future generations. On behalf of Ryan Group of Institutions, we would like to thank Mr. Sunjoy Monga for interacting with us. On that note, this is YJ Khaila Samuel from Ryan Global School signing off for Young Journos of Ryan TV.